first, what are some of the issues that you're going to be talking about in this campaign?
Well, I think the biggest issue we have to talk about is the out-of-control government spending. We're mortgaging our country's future. We're mortgaging our children's future. We've got this out-of-control deficit spending, and we've got to do more, Jason, than just reduce the deficit. I mean, the administration is talking about reducing the deficit, and that just means you're not borrowing money as fast as you were. We've got to reduce the debt. We've got to cut the debt. We've got to understand that the debt is a matter of national security. That we are putting our country at risk by having this enormous debt. We've got to bring debt under control. And I think everything we're talking about TARP and stimulus, healthcare reform, this awful cap and trade stuff that really is just the world's largest tax increase in history, which is an energy tax. We've got to understand that we're talking about dramatically exacerbating and making worse the country's debt. That is the big issue we've got to tackle.
One of the things that's come up this week, been talking a lot about on the blogs, has been a statement you made earlier this week referring to having to get a visa and passport held in March State. What did you mean? What were you trying to say when you said that? Can you clear that up for us?
I appreciate the question because I definitely want to make clear that. Now, let me just say, first of all, I love the people of Southeast Arkansas. And I was using an analogy to illustrate how diverse our cultures are in the state. And I could just as easily said that in Southeast Arkansas about Northwest Arkansas, because the point is that we have this magnificent state with all these different cultures and economies that are distinctly different. And this is not the biggest state in the country. We've got Northwest Arkansas with the world's largest retailer and the world's largest protein producer. We've got Southeast Arkansas with its awesome agriculture and aquaculture. We've got Northeast Arkansas with fabulous agriculture. We make steel and we make glass. And you go to each quadrant, go to Southwest Arkansas, we have tourism, we have forestry, we make concrete, we make tires. It's awesome what we do, but each one of these parts of the state has its own unique issues and problems. And what I was saying, I was up in the very tip of Northwest Arkansas when I made that statement. And the fact is that a regional candidate cannot win a statewide election. You've got to understand the needs of all the parts of the state. And what I was trying to say is that as you move from one corner to the other, there is a dramatic change in the culture and the economy, and a candidate's got to appreciate that. I've been traveling for almost 40 years, I think 38-something countries. I like to say I'm only 39 years old. I've just got 61 million miles on me. But, for all the years I've been traveling, the phrase that I use, shots on a visa, meant nothing more that I'm leaving the country, I'm going to another country. That's all it meant. And at first, when I heard that statement was, was being made to sound like I was saying that Southeast Arkansas was a third world country, my first response was incredulity. I thought, nobody thought I meant that. And then when I saw that other people thought that's what I was saying, I will tell you honestly, I was horrified. I was absolutely horrified that that was how that was interpreted. It could not have been farther from my intent. And I told the reporter this morning, I said, let's call it if it's stupid. Let's call it stupid. Because there's 1,000 times more likely that I'm stupid than I'm racist. I mean, let's call it what it is, but it was not an insinuation. I mean, Southeast Arkansas, man, that's part of my home. I graduated from Southern Arkansas University. That's Southern Arkansas. My firstborn was born in Magnolia in Columbia County. One of the best friends I've ever had in my life is from El Dorado, Union County. One of the dearest friends I have today is from Marianna. And I have put my feet under more tables holding fine Southern cooking, as you can tell by looking at me. But I'm talking about Helena, Marianna, my sister used to live in Star City, Dumas, Monticello, Hamburg, Fountain Lake. I have extended family that lives in Crossett, Strong. I mean, this is part of my history. This is part of my life. So, I was just amazed that anybody would ever begin to interpret that like they did. And I got to tell you, I honestly have to think that those interpretations were at best insincere and maybe even disingenuous, because, boy, that I would ever suggest that was just so totally far from me. But I was horrified to think that people would think that.
Well, thanks for clearing that up for us. One thing you touched on is running a statewide campaign.
Right.
How do you run a statewide campaign against an incumbent who's running for her third term, has $2-3 million in the bank? What's your plan to run a campaign against that?
Well, and forgive me because I don't think Bobby Petrino would send LSU the Razorback playbook before next Thanksgiving. So forgive me if I don't talk too much about strategy. I'll tell you this: I'm going to work like the Dickens. I haven't declared as of yet. One of the reasons is because I've got commitments to 2 projects, one for my company and one for the Louis Palau City Fest that's coming this fall, about which I'm immensely excited. I'm very involved, and I really want to complete my commitments to those 2 projects. But when I declare, that's all I'm going to do. It's 100% every single day. I'll start at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go to midnight every night, whatever it takes, but I'm going to do it every day. And I've been around this mountain before, so I know what a statewide campaign is like. And it's 99% really hard work. And you don't take a break. You don't stop. You don't quit. You keep going. And other than that, that's why we're going to have to raise money. We're in a place where in the next several months this is going to be all about money. People are going to evaluate if this campaign's viable, like they are every other campaign. So you got to raise money. And I've been pretty good at that. And I've had to raise $22 million while my company was going through this horrible mess at the FDA to get approval for our technology. So, that worked like the Dickens.
Okay. One last question. I noticed you have a green tie. Is there significance to your green tie?
There is significance to my green tie. I tell you, I've been watching the protesting and my heart has been broken. I don't know all the background of that. We're getting reports over the internet. And we know anybody can do that. You don't really know what's happening. But Monday night, I was in Bella Vista, and I went to a rally about health care. It was 97 degrees at 5:30 in the afternoon, and I really wondered how many people would show up. And I got there, and there were at least 400 people, almost 500 people in this 97-degree heat, because they're worried about this horrible health care plan that's being proposed in this country. And I stood back behind the crowd and turned to a friend of mine whose name was Al, and I said, Al, take a mental picture. This is America. This is what America's about. And I said, right now, there are people in Iran dying so they can do what we're doing. And this is supporting that. Was it Thomas Jefferson who's credited with saying that when a people fear their government, that's tyranny, and when a government fears its people, that's liberty? I think I support the right of people all over the world to protest when their freedoms are taken away. And I understand that's what the Iranian people are doing, and I support that. And that's what my green tie is.
Great. Well, I appreciate your time, Curtis. We're going to be watching your campaign, and appreciate you speaking with me today.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. God bless you.